gonna make it. Everyone say hi. No makeup today, it's okay. Okay, so we're talking about Photoshop, okay, for 101. So the first thing is inspiration, okay? You have a business, you don't necessarily want to hire a graphic designer, you want to learn some stuff by yourself. So the first thing is inspiration. What inspires you? So you can look up on Google, like I like baking. Let's say I want to advertise my baking workshop. I look up baking ads. I look up different pictures of cakes and I see how people take the pictures. I see how people advertise themselves. And that's my inspiration. Okay? Number two, I need this for which media? What am I going to need the ad for? Or to publish, like on a Beachboost. So I'm going to need it to be really high quality and a certain size. I'm going to want it to know if I want an A4 or A5 or a brochure. And that's how I'm going to figure out what size I'm going to make the Photoshop file. So that's for publishing. For Facebook, it's quite flexible because you can do posts that are on landscape, portrait, big, small. Facebook is really flexible. You can do any size. Or Instagram, which is not so flexible. Instagram loves when you do square photos. So it's pretty simple, just to make sure it's high quality and square. So Photoshop, again, is flexible. And Instagram, Facebook is flexible. Instagram is less, they would like that it's square. So you're gonna have to know that when you make your file. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so this is for a client. He is a baker, as you can see. This is Shavuot cheesecake. And we're mixing one up either right now. And here's something that I'm gonna wanna do. I'm gonna teach you guys. So I go from here, which has a background that kind of distracts me and my customers, to here. It's a very clean background. And I completely took out the background and I added, learn how to make cookies and cakes, contact us number, and my title. Okay? So let's start from 0. 1 minute, let me come back to you guys so you can see. Quick question before I start. 1 minute. I want to know who downloaded Photoshop or trial or game. So raise your hand or do an emoji. Okay, cool. Sherry and Naomi, I can't see you, so can you write in the group chat if you did? If you did, that's perfect. You can. I'm going to show you how to open it up and start. If you didn't, you can just follow along or record my screen so you'll know how to do it or take notes. Okay, so you open Photoshop. And let me share my screen again, sorry. Perfect. Okay. Again, here's the cake. I'm gonna wanna make it more interesting. I'm gonna turn my product into my ad. Okay? So let's start from 0, file, new. Okay? Now I saved a bunch of dimensions here that I used to use. Let's pretend I didn't. So I'm gonna go to the right, preset details. Let's call it Instagram ad number 1. I'm gonna switch the width and the height to pixels. On Instagram, I looked it up. You can look it up on Google, preferred Instagram size, and they like 1080 pixels on 1080, which is the square. Resolution is really important. The higher you go, the heavier your file is, but it also means that you're gonna get very, very clear pictures and very, very clear a result, okay? So you can do 300. If you go higher, it'll be too heavy and you can't share it and it won't look that so good. So to make sure that's not too high and not too low. 300. And the rest of the modes are fine. RGB is perfect. And then you press create. Okay, there's my square. Make sure you guys can see it. Perfect. Okay, here's my square. Now I have my toolbox here. Here's my toolbox. And on Photoshop, you can move everything around. Let me take this out, and I'll show you how to get it. Here's your toolbox. Now, if I like it wider, I can also change that. I like it skinny, so I'm gonna keep it this way. We're gonna go through all the tools. Here's the move tool. Classic, you can move your you can move your layer. Okay? Now, I'm going to start with the checkered. You see it's checkered? Checkered means transparent, okay? So it shouldn't bother you, it's transparent. If you don't like to work with checkered or distracts you like me, so there's a white layer, okay? So there's the move tool, and here's our white layer. Here is the layer section. It's very, very important, because here's how you're going to organize everything on your document, everything on your image, okay? So like in Word, you don't have a layer, so you just pop it all on, text box, image. So here, it's very important, you have your layers, so every image or every text box is on a different layer. And here, you can double click and name it. Background. Okay. Here is a select tool. You have rectangular, when I right click, elliptic, single row, and single column. So if I want to select a certain object, which we're going to do with the cake, then I can select it like this. And it looks like crawling ant. That is my selection. So again, if I want to change it to elliptical, I can do like this, elliptical. And it's selected, okay? And copy and paste here works just like Word and everything, okay? A lot of these tools you don't use daily. I'm just showing you the tools that you normally will use. This is a magic wand, and one of my favorite tools. And I'll show you what it does soon. It really helps you, let's say you have like a logo with a black background or a white background. It can take away the background within a second, so you don't have to start erasing all around. It's very awesome. Here's crop tool. I crop, and then once I press enter, my photo becomes this size. I'm going to press Control Z to undo that. And deselect, we're going to deselect those. Okay, so there's crop. Eyedropper tool. Let's say I have an image of a cake, and I really like one color of it, and I want to do a font that same color. So I eyedrop, and I get the color. Okay, I'm going to skip these because those are more advanced. Eraser, I erase. I can press the bracket tool, right bracket to make it bigger, and the left bracket to make it smaller. Okay, so if you want to erase a small detail or someone's pimple, that's the way to do it. And if I want to zoom in to do it for more detailed, I press Control plus and Control minus. So if you like to work from far or see your image looks like from far away, you can go like this and Control plus to make it closer. Paint tool, I'm going to show you how to do it with the marquee. So I select paint. Now I want to see my paint colors, right? Because now it won't do anything. So window is all your tools that are hiding right now. I'm going to choose color. And here I have all my swatches. Click and I paint. So now I just painted, but I painted on the background, which I don't want to do because I want to know how to manage it and just control the oval that I just painted. So I'm going to do Control Z. New layer here. And then I paint, and then I can call this oval. And this oval is on a new layer. Now let's say I want to make it bigger or smaller. I do Control T, T for transform. And then I can make it bigger or smaller. I can change it like to a circle too. I stretch it out using the Shift tool. So Control T, and then you can stretch it out. And whenever I'm done, I say, okay, I like this circle, and I like to keep it this way. I press Enter. Done. Okay? Let me make sure you guys got it. If you have any questions, then go stop sharing the screen. Okay, any questions? Any comments? You can unmute, Michelle. You muted.
Hi. Just right from the beginning, when you do your first layer, so you did your first layer was your background, how do you choose, like, if you want to put a certain color there or transparent, how did you do that? I missed that bit, how you actually chose the color of your first layer.
That's automatic. It's automatically white.
Then to make it transparent, how did you do that?
I'll show you 1 minute.
Okay.
It's a great question. Share. Okay, so You see the eye tool? I'm just gonna make this one invisible. Just for now. Let's say I like the oval. I don't want to see it now. It's invisible. Okay, background. Pretend there's no oval, okay? Or I select it all using this tool. And press delete. You're like deleting the white. That's it.
Okay.
Now, but there's no such thing as transparent on Instagram and Facebook, right? So on the default on Photoshop, all they're gonna see is white. Whatever's transparent, when you're done the file and you save it as a JPEG, as an image, they see is white.
Okay.
So it's your call. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Any other questions? So any transparency goes default to white if you don't change it. And then I can change the background to any other color using the pink bucket. Okay, someone's using GIMP. Naomi, GIMP is perfect. It's cheap. It's actually free. And I learned on GIMP because my school, they taught me didn't want to spend hundreds of dollars on every single student. And it's really similar. So you should be able to follow same tools, same menu, everything. Okay? Are we good? Any more questions or should I continue? Good? Okay, perfect. Share screen. Perfect. Okay, so let's get back to this cake. Okay? This one. I downloaded an image of this cake on the internet. Let's talk about downloading the first thing. If you press copy and paste to an image from Google, okay, let's say here. I have this image. I like this, and I do copy and paste. Control V. Then it looks like it's good quality here, but it's not going to be good quality. Every time I copy and paste, the quality goes down. So it's a big no-no for graphic designers. If you want any image, you click Save Image, you save it, and then you go to Photoshop, File, Open, and you open the file. Where is it? Doesn't matter, just pretend it's this. You open the file, okay? Then the quality is saved as much as it can, as high as it can. Okay, so I downloaded this image, but I want it to be the Instagram size, right? So let's do first things first. Let's say I want the cake because the background is busy and I just want the cake. Now here, the background is quite busy and Photoshop won't be able to guess what the background is. If it was on a white background, I could use the magic wand tool and press Control X. You see, it kind of guesses the background. Because it's not uniform, I'm gonna have to do it myself. I'll show you how to do it in a pretty easy way. I'm gonna do Control Plus to zoom. I'm gonna zoom in on the top of the cake. Move my layers over, and I click the lasso tool. Third one down, and there's lasso, polygonal, and magnetic. I want the magnetic one. Magnetic one guesses my edges. It's really cool. And I don't have to go and try to select it like Mamash Avodah Nemarim. I can click and it guesses my edges. So let's start from the platter. Let's go left. Here you go. And it kind of guesses where I'm going. You see, even if I go up, it wants to go down like a magnet. And I click at checkpoints. Because we're in a quick video, I'm just going to do it not so exact. But obviously, if I wanted to go more exact, I would zoom in, and go through every single meringue. And it really guesses where I'm going, which is awesome, and it saves me a lot of time. So again, I'm not doing it so neatly because of the time. And that's the magnetic lasso tool. So if you want to take an image, take the background, see now what happened. My mouse went this way, so I can press enter, and I'll just start over again. Okay, so that's what you do. I'm gonna skip that step because that's all that you do. You go like this, go around the cake. You take whatever you want to, and it's a really cool magnet. It kind of follows what I'm using. And I go back to the first point and click on the first square. Cool. The cake is selected. Not perfect, but it's fine for me now. And now I can do Control C to copy. And because it's within Photoshop, the quality is fine. And I go to this Instagram ad, the new one that we opened together. Control V. And there's my cake. I'm going to clean up the edges, obviously, after. And when I did Control V, it automatically opens as a new layer. So I double click to keep it neat and press cake. So now if I want to manage my cake, I have the cake here. If I want to manage the oval, here I'm going to turn on the visibility. I manage the oval. So now the oval is blocking the cake. I want the oval to be the background. So what do? I drag the layer and drop. Okay, I'm going to come for any questions, and I will continue. Okay, any questions about the layer, the visibility? I may be going too fast. If I am, just tell me. We good? Section. Okay, cool. So now, listen. Share screen, Photoshop, share. Okay, and now if I want to get closer, I can always go closer, zoom in. And in order to be exclusive, I want to work on the cake layer at all, just the cake layer. So I click the cake layer, and I'm just on the cake layer. I can zoom in, and let's say I want to clean up. I go to the eraser tool, make it smaller using the bracket, the left bracket, and I can erase whatever I don't need. So that's how you get an object out of the background and onto a clean background using the magnetic lasso. Now, we did it a cool way. Now, let's say you have a logo and it's on a white background and you want the logo to be on a blue background. Okay, it's even easier. So let's get a logo. File, open. I'm opening my logo to a new game. It's a JPEG and it's going to open as a PSD file, Photoshop, open. Now this is a logo with a white background. And let's say I want it to have this oval background. Let's hide the cake for a second, like this. You go to the fourth tool, the magic wand. And this is probably relevant for a lot of you who have logos on a white background. Click. And what does it do here? It guesses where my logo is and it highlights using those ants, the select tool, all the white. Now if I press Control X, it takes out the white. So, and it's going to select all the white. What I need is the logo. So I'm going to do select, inverse. Now it's selecting the logo. And now if I do Control X, my logo's gone because it only selected the logo. Let's bring it to Instagram. Control V, paste. And because of the shadow, I still have a little bit here, but really that's my logo. And let's say I want to clean it up. It can also guess the white, Control X, or delete. That's much simpler because it's a clean background. Any color background will work. I can clean it up like this. And then I have a logo on my blue background. Cool. Let's hide the logo, bring the cake. Now we're going to work on text. So let's make the background color. Select the background color using a paint bucket. Make it pink. Awesome. Text. How to do text in Photoshop. Okay. You go down to T. T is text. And then I make a text box. Where is all my text happening? Where can I choose the font? Or on the top, here's the font, here's italic, here's the size, strong is bold. Or an easier way, which I like to do, is I go to Window, Character. And here's all my details. This can drag and drop wherever I want it. So let's type. All right, wrong place. Type here. Automatically typed in the color of my background because the last color that I used. I click color. I can click here or anywhere here. In my swatches. And choose the color. Delete. There we go. Here's my cakes. And you see, if I drag it down, then it's going behind the oval. Why? Because here it's on the layers lower than the oval. So I have to bring it up higher. And it automatically pasted lorem ipsum. So I'm going to Control A, delete it, and type it again. Now it's only cakes. Now it's above. If I put it down here, then it's below. Now on here, you can also stretch out the letters and do cool things. I'll show you how. So here is to widen. You can or type a number in the window or drag your mouse here, click and drag. Here's to stretch them. Similar to an image box where you can stretch, maximize, and minimize. Here is to space, double space the layers, the words. And here, if you have two rows, you can make the rows farther and closer to each other. And here are the fonts. I can mouse over and the font will change. If you download fonts from any website, then they'll automatically be uploaded here. You don't have to do anything special. If it's Hebrew, then I won't understand, so we'll obviously do squares. Okay. Any questions? Anything you guys want to learn now? Anything specific? Write it in the comments. Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you, Cher. It's a very healthy idea of the concept of the layers, that one goes on top of the other.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you using Photoshop now? Or just watching?
Just watching right now.
Perfect.
It's too hard for me to do.
Right. Well, thank you. You have any specific things you want to learn to do?
Shira, I want to ask you, how would you change, if you want to change the color, like the background, would you just change the color in that layer? You'd have to basically build, or, no, I don't mean that. If you say the cake and you decide, okay, I want to change it to look like a chocolate cake, so I want to make it brown within the same picture, how would you do that?
Okay, so let's do that. Changing the flavor.
Yeah, or just changing part, you've got anything, just to change the color of part of the picture.
Right, you can make a strawberry blue also, same idea.
Right,
okay.
Right.
So let's do that, that's a good question. Let's go back to Photoshop. Okay, now I have vanilla cheesecake and I decided I don't like vanilla, I want it to be chocolate. I click on the cake layer, again, sorry, because I was on the text layer and I clicked it, automatically put lorem ipsum there. So if I want to delete a layer, I press, 1 minute, move this down, the trash can here, trash, delete the layer, yep. I'm just saying, whenever you want to lock a layer or you did an action and you want to finish it, you can't just leave it there because Photoshop will just get stuck. You press enter and then you're free. The cakes, if I want to try, here, 1 minute, let's say I do the move tool and we'll do something else, I have to press enter and then it will free the Photoshop, if it freezes for you. Okay, so we're going to zoom in. We're going to change this white layer into chocolate. So, or we can use the magic wand. Again, I'm not sure how good it can be because there's a shadow here, but let's try. See, that's pretty good. I got the top, right? So let's do this. It's even better, the magnetic one, and it'll be even easier. Go around the crumbs, be pretty easy. It kind of follows my lead. And again, if we just do the paint bucket, then it will come like a clean wall with no texture. So I'm going to show you how to change the vanilla to chocolate and to add some texture so it will look convincing. Again, I'm going to click selecting the, 1 minute. It froze for me, 1 second. It froze, I press enter. Let's see, I don't know why it froze. Select, deselect. So we do that again.
Why did you deselect, sorry?
Because it froze. You see, you got stuck there.
Ah, okay.
Then I'm gonna do it again. And for some reason, my Photoshop got stuck. Let me try again. Because it's stuck. Normally I'll click and it will do a new one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, first. That's weird, 1 minute.
It doesn't like chocolate cake, obviously.
But basically, I'll tell you,
Okay.
in the time, I would select it all until I had that marquee tool where it'll click on crawling ants. I'll click the paint bucket, paint it a different color that I choose from the color.
Where do you get the color from? Where does that drop down, the color? Where did you, I see you've dragged this little square with color swatches and yeah. Is that always on the side, on the left side there, or it's in a?
It's in my settings,
drop down.
but it's here.
You just pull. You can pull it out.
Window. All my windows are here. My layer windows. So let's say suddenly your windows disappear. See, layers is this check because it's showing, right? Character is the text.
Got it. Okay.
And color. Let me see why it's stuck and do it again. It's really weird, it disappeared. Okay, I'm just gonna do the example. Over, I'm gonna close and open again. And when I close, it says save before quitting, yes. Saves it. I'm also gonna show you how to save. Now Zoom is 10 minutes left because I have a basic membership, so I'm gonna post a new link for you guys. Once it's over. Photoshop. Sorry, I just restarted.
So if you wanted to build a logo, you're probably best not doing it in Photoshop, right? Is Photoshop more for just changing things?
It's more for photos, graphics, yeah. You can use InDesign or Illustrator, which are on the Adobe Suite too.
Building. Right, that's more for building logos.
Right, but what's good about that is that they're really similar. Once you know Photoshop, you know the other ones pretty well. Very similar.
Okay.
Same family, same toolbox. So I'm gonna just open Photoshop again. Then I'm gonna share my screen. Because it's heavy, it took you guys probably a long time to download it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys for your patience. Okay, we are good. We are back. Share screen. Okay, so again, I'm going to take the lasso tool quickly. I'm going to select. See, it's pretty good by itself. It's pretty fast. And I click whenever I want a checkpoint to make sure it will stay. There we go. You see, you guys can see it's crawling ants. Now I'm scared. I don't want to damage that layer if I make a mistake with the chocolate cake. So I'm going to add a new layer here. Plus, I'm going to do the edits of the chocolate cake above it. So then, maximo, if I don't like it, I can delete it. Color. Find a good chocolate. Okay. Here, now that does really not look convincing at all, right? So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna steal the texture from the vanilla cake. Okay, I'm gonna go to the opacity. How did I steal it? I'm gonna lower the opacity on the brown chocolate layer. So then you could see the texture from the vanilla cake. See? And fill, I can also play with opacity and fill to try to get the texture that I need. Zoom in. So that's one idea. Or two, I can also use my brushes. Let's select, deselect. Doesn't really look convincing. So let's go to brush tools and try to paint over it. Brush tools are here. And here, it shows you your kind of brushes. You can choose the size. Again, it's here. It's or on the top or window. Brushes. There we go. General. There's a bunch of presets, and you can obviously make your own brush with your own settings. Dry, wet media. Let's choose this one. You see it kind of looks good? More texture. And you see I made a mistake, so I press Control Z and the mistake is gone. Control Z. Zoomed in. And if I want the brush to be smaller, I use the left bracket. Right bracket to make it bigger, and left. It's better off using small because then you get the exactness that you like. Okay. Let's see, share. Here's the hand. And then we have a chocolate cake. So again, obviously it's not perfect. I can go in, blur some stuff, but that's basically the cake. Okay. 1 minute. Hi. Sherry, I can't hear you. I'm going to unmute you.
I have another question. How do you, sorry if anyone else has, how do you improve the quality? If I'm given a photograph, am I able to improve the quality of the picture that I'm given, or?
You mean the resolution? Like if it's pixelized?
Yeah. I guess just a photograph that isn't very high quality. Can you do something to it, increase the resolution? Will that increase the quality of the photograph?
No, if the original is not good, then it won't be good. You can ask me to send a better photo. If it's a little bit pixelized, you can brush it in, like airbrush over it. But you rather start off with a good photo to get a good product at the end. And
to change dimensions in the photo that you have, is that possible, or you just use the dimensions on the right-hand side like you did before?
Let's say your customer says, I want an Instagram, and then he goes, no, I want this one too. You want to change the dimensions? That's you go to,
like you did at the beginning.
Yeah, but you don't have. Yeah, you can go to. Are you on Photoshop? You go to Image, Canvas size, and then you change it. I'll screen share, and then Sherry, I'm coming to you right after. I'll cancel it. Image, canvas size. Change the width and the height in percent, pixels, inches, centimeters, millimeters, points. I just use pixels, but that's my priority. You could change it and then it will change automatically. Okay. And you have a question, Shari? You're muted, I can't hear you.
I asked in the chat that you can also, can't you just select the layer and then adjust the color, and it keeps the texture by adjusting the color and adjustments?
You can do that too, yeah. It depends on how exact you want it to look like. And what's your...
Because then you remain with the texture.
Yeah, so we can do that using... Yeah, you can do that too. It's your call. Okay, this meeting is going to end in a few minutes. So do you guys want to continue or reschedule for more questions? Your call. Whatever you want to do. So let's talk about I can't hear you, Michelle. You muted. Unmute.
I just said whatever's best for you. Like, it's really useful what you've said. And if there are any other great tricks that it can do, that will be really helpful.
Okay, so let's show everyone how to save. Some people have to go, so I'm going to save the image. And then whoever wants to continue, I'll send another link. Okay, so let's show you guys how to save it in the best way possible so your customer or yourself will get the best results. Okay, share screen. Okay, let's say I'm done. I want to save it. Okay, File, Save As. And it will automatically save it as a copy if you do JPEG. So here are tons of choices. Let's say I want to do JPEG, I'll show you how to do a PDF after. JPEG, Instagram ad, whatever the name is, save. Now I want the highest quality possible. So I'm gonna change this to large quality and press OK. I don't want to change matte. We're good the way it is, okay. And then it'll export and save it as a copy. But you can still edit this and save it over as another JPEG or as a theme. And if you want to save it as Photoshop, you can File, Export. You can do Pinch, right? Sorry. You can do or print.